Hello, hi there, it's me, it's Dave, or the Jaded Rabbit. God bless you, my friends. Thank you kindly for joining along for another live stream. Yes, we do this almost every day. But yes, this is pretty much my only time to, sit down, play some games, or do something do something related to YouTube. I guess I enjoy YouTube more than video games at this point. Mortal Kombat is such a train wreck that it's sort of put me off video games. It's definitely tainted how I look at things like Tekken 8. Tekken 8 is wonderful. It's nice. But I can't help but look at any of these games and wonder, how are they going to try and scam me? How are they going to try and con me? Thankfully, there's nothing really like that, anything so severe in Tekken 8. But the idea of live service content is what makes Mortal Kombat terrible compared to Tekken 8. As well, this is the business mindset moving forwards. Everything is going to be focused on live service content. And if you're not familiar, everything about Mortal Kombat 11 was a live service. Babes. Everything's just been on a calendar, on a schedule, where the developers have just put a meager amount of effort into rewards such as skins, brutals, in MK11. And would release it with every season. And that's what we're getting here with MK1 minus the Brutals because they ran out of talent and they're not creative anymore. So we're in the era of fast content, quick content, multiple mesas doing the same repetitive, redundant things. And for that reason, I don't think we should ever have the hope or the expectation that Mortal Kombat 1 will deliver quality content. Quality content is out of the realms of possibility for Mortal Kombat 1 as long as NRS adheres to this idea of live service content and continuously under-delivering. They're not over-delivering, babes. We've got 2 game modes, and there's little reason to play this game continuously. As you can see here, I've completed the weekly quests. Yippee. Great. Good for me. What a waste of time. And I feel like if you are one of the people who don't enjoy Mortal Kombat 1, and you want to send message to developer, then I guess don't play the game. I'm not telling you to not play the game. Do whatever suits you, babes. I play the game as well. Look, I did the weekly quest. The weekly quest is stupid. But this is the live service content that we have to look forwards to within Mortal Kombat 1 every week. And I mean, if you want to be super extra, you could care really hard about these daily quests and trying to advance your metrics on daily quests completed for all time. 639 we have completed all time. But there is really little to do within this game, and that is by design. This game is not meant to give you lots of content. It's meant to drip feed you content. But this is where Tekken 8 really shines. You get all of the product that you paid for on day one, which is quite a novel concept in this world of everything being a multiplayer, always online, live service activity. You don't have to be online to do anything in Tekken 8. You don't have to... Well, you do have to be online for PvP. But there's a wealth of things to do in terms of different single-player mode activities. However, I have completed all of them. That might be a me problem, but I have consumed everything within Tekken 8, and now I don't really have much else to look forward to. Because that's a me problem. But that's why there are games on the market that bill themselves as live services, because they have that promise of constant content, always to be providing you something. However, that's something that we receive in Mortal Kombat 1 are just some ugly reskins. And it's by that way on design, because they really want to shuffle people into looking into other activities like MK Onslaught, MK Mobile, MK Premium Shop. there's other things that they want you to be looking at rather than actually looking at the game, playing the game. So at this point in Tekken, like, I like Tekken. Don't get me wrong. I think Tekken is like a wonderful experience. But it's just over. Like, what am I going to do? So I've purchased everything for certain characters. I focused on girlies, because I like the girlies. What do you want from me? They're really cute. But I've purchased absolutely every customization option for some of these characters, 9 out of the 32. With the Turbo Controller, we should be able to purchase all of the items in the game within a couple of days. Maybe a week. I'll say week, because I'm not pushing it. I'm not going to make the console work 24 hours. But this is something where you can see where a complete game has options like change the color, and you get a color wheel. So this is an activity that you, the player, can achieve by yourself immediately with little effort. Whereas in MK1, you're getting this idea of weekly quests where you get just a lazy, low-effort palette swap. Just one. Then you have to look forwards to, in Combat League, low effort, lazy palette swaps of 3 costume number 3s. And this is what's really triggering for me about this live service idea, is that people aren't realizing that we are in a live service. This live service crap is terrible. And what's worse is that we've been playing the same live service since 2019. July 2019, which is when Combat League started, and has never stopped. So 4 years, going on 5 now, with this crazy live service content. And this live service content, nothing's unique in this game, whereas MK11, you got unique things. You can look forwards to more lazy, low-effort palette swaps for Season 4. One of the costumes will feature Melina, because the season features Melina. So there's very little excitement when everything is so predictable, and the gear pieces are so uninspired. But NRS is prioritizing fast content, not quality content. And if you're expecting this to change, it's not going to change. This is the business framework. This is the framework of the game. How do you change Combat League and make it more meaningful? By actually putting good rewards in Combat League? You could argue that Combat League skins didn't get hype until maybe season 13? 14? 14, 15, 16. Yes, for sure. Those ones were really beautiful. But even like season 12 was pretty good too. MK11, that is. So these skins, when do we expect them to get good? Not me asking the skins to get good, but yes, when are they going to get good? Because they're not good. They're just palette swaps. And for, like, I pity people who feel like they need to go to Elder God just to get the skins. Because what happens when they release the Warrior Shrine? What happens when they release the equivalent to the Meteor Tower? And you could have just gotten the skin from doing a Meteor Tower, aka Warrior Shrine? Sure. Sure. I think going forward with this game, it should be treated very cautiously, because this Combat League is not going to improve. These rewards are not going to improve. You can bet what we're going to get next season, some pink ass ugly costumes. Maybe I'll like it because they'll be pink. But they're going to be copy pasted across every character on the roster. And at least, like, here's the thing with Tekken, right? You can copy paste the same style across every character. But it's not drip fed to us with live service time walls, time gates, right? Like, I can put butterfly wings and butterfly makeup on everyone on the roster if I so choose, minus the animals and King and Yoshimitsu. Because you can't see their face, my friends. The King doesn't reveal his face. Is there a mod that corrects that? Would like to see what's under the mask. Is that actually his face, or is it a mask? I can't tell. So you can't, I mean, like, with King, like, here, like, when you go to body, you can only change his tan. You can't put makeup on him, which is kind of sad. But you can put makeup on every character in the roster here in Tekken. You don't have to wait for some, I don't know, Season 3, Season of Blue ombre nails. Unfortunately, this is another thing about, like, Tekken. Like, I just feel like there's not enough options. You want me to customize stuff? Give me more options, babes. Give me the option to change this into green eyeshadow. Why is it only black eyeshadow? Where's the green? Where's the all of these are pink, so where's the red? Where are the other options is the problem for me. But, I'm picky, and I keep it real. A lot of people, I feel, just jump on hype train, then jump onto the next thing like this is going to kill MK. No, MK is going to kill MK. Tekken doesn't need to kill MK. Tekken just needs to be a good product, and it is. It is totally a good product. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. But Mortal Kombat, blah. So this is the problem. We have invasions. We have Combat League. That's it. This is also another problem with Tekken, too. Like, once you finish all of the single player, like, what is there? Just ranked? Okay, so there's nothing else left but ranked for me. Because I have completed all of the single player activities. So this is, I mean, like, that's also the problem in MK. Like, what am I supposed to do after I finish invasions every season? Just play Combat League? Oh, okay. Well, no. I did that for 3 years. I'm fine. I don't need to do that when there's no reward. That's what always boggles me. PvP needs rewards. It needs something. Because, like, otherwise you're going to get fools like me who get all of the PvP rewards by playing single player. Look at my fancy health gauge. Isn't it pretty? It turns red when I'm at low health. The whole thing. No more pink. It's all red. It's so pretty. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of sad. Not about Tekken. Mortal Kombat. For sure. Mortal Kombat is the thing to be sad about. Because Mortal Kombat has soured my taste so much, where I now view all of these other games as, how am I going to get cheated? Because I have felt this previously with Destiny 1 transitioning into Destiny 2, which is the framework for these live service modern games, where games are trying to focus on player retention and engagement so that they can maximize revenue. That's what they're aiming for. So I have let's see. I have this really interesting, like, video that explains from a business perspective, someone at Bungie, someone who developed and works on Destiny 2, how they frame the live service content of Destiny. For me, I played a lot of Destiny. I love to pull this up. When you take a look at my profile, you'll see here that my second most played game Is Destiny, because like Mortal Kombat's taking up the first two spots, so Destiny's number two. Have played thousands of hours of this game, and it was the first infant live service, existed in a time before Fortnite became the model go-to for a battle pass. But the live service idea, it's existed in MMORPGs for a very long time. But this was like really like the first shooter console game that was like bringing it to this level. Final Fantasy, World of Warcraft, you're probably playing those on PC, not console. But Destiny, yeah, that's been my experience. So hearing from these developers, they don't focus on quality, which is wonderful, which makes sense how Stephanie Brownback has risen to head of quality, lead QA analyst, but they don't care about quality. Their concern is getting the product out to the player as quick as possible. We can see this most obviously with Mortal Kombat. It's been released in an incomplete state. Hasn't been fixed yet. And of course, there are the defenders who are going to say, oh, but we have Wi-Fi filter. Oh, but we have a ping filter. Oh, but crossplay's coming in February. Blah blah blah. This is just a indication that society has lessened their standards more and more, and we're just eating crap. That's why these game developers are marketing to Gen Alpha and Gen Z, because they haven't experienced complete products. And I mean, like, even Tekken 8, people might be deluded and think 10 out of 10. Nothing's 10 out of 10, babes. Nothing. So yeah, there's always demand more, always demand better. This is what it means to be a consumer when you open your wallet and you choose to go buy some stuff. You always demand better. Okay, so let's see what you guys are saying. Thank you so much for joining along. Please don't forget to leave a like. 32 of you here. Can we get 32 likes? Or 32 dislikes? Or 32 get the hell out? Just go. If you're not going to like, if you're not going to engage with the video, you would do me a solid just by leaving. That would be good. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Duwan, hello. NRS don't care, but you do. OMG, hey, Swish. Saw a little DVD up in there. There's the little DVD up in there. Yes, I get scared. I get so scared with those games, Wish. I wish I was more mature. WB single-handedly bankrupting themselves. Hello. Hey, James. Hey, Adlai. I missed a few streams. That's okay. I don't really have a set schedule, so sometimes it's like afternoon, sometimes it's evening. It's whenever. There's no Tekken bowling. No, there's not. And I hear from some of you guys who are Tekken heads that the customization used to be better in other game. Yeah, I would love to see that, because I like the idea of customization. I feel like Tekken went pretty good, but they could have gone harder with the customization system in Tekken 8. I hate these new games, honestly. Yeah, the offline experience is wonderful, then online matches are the same in both games. For me, I enjoy Tekken 8 gameplay, like combat, more than Mortal Kombat 1 combat. I guess it helps with the stages being so dynamic in Tekken 8, there being nice soundtrack, but I think you're very much correct that once you boil these games down, all you're left with is PvP? Combat League? Ranked? I mean, I enjoy ranked, but I like a healthy balance between PvE and PvP content, which is why Destiny always appealed to me. I'm glad I decided to skip this Mortal Kombat. You are wise, my friend. MK baby, 12 cameo, 12 special cameo, 12 special fatal blow. OMG, you're so on point with MK1 never delivering quality. I played it for the story, which I was disappointed with, and lack of content, no great costumes, and yeah, I moved on from it. Yeah, I think you're taking the correct approach, Star Cub. You really should, if you don't like Mortal Kombat and you don't want to support it, don't play it. OMG. OMG, I need to close the game because I'm not giving them any extra hours or minutes out of me. I try to do those weekly quests as quick as possible, but don't play the game. Send the message to the developers that people aren't playing the game, that if people are playing the game, they're playing it for short amount of play times, because those are key metrics, key performance indicators to these business heads where they're like, okay, how do we judge the success of this game? That's how they judge it. How many people are playing and how long are they playing for? Tekken, air juggle, punch, heat combo, then rage art. It's all brain dead baby ass combos. Yeah. The combos are easily accomplished. That's one thing. I should have skipped this game, MK1, which really makes me nervous about buying Tekken 8. I recommend buying Tekken 8 on sale. There's nothing you're missing if you buy it on sale. If you buy it now, you're going to be like, why did I pay $170 for this? Because that's the question I'm asking myself. Why did I pay $170 for this? I also sort of bought it on feelings and not on logic, like research. I should have investigated what was I getting with those Ultimates, like, edition. I just get some ugly cosplay for my avatar, which I already don't like. So I should have looked into that. That's a me problem. Whatever happened to strategy fighting? I don't know, Drew. I'm so disappointed. I like Street Fighter 6. IGN gave Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6 both 9 out of 10. I would give Street Fighter 6 9, Tekken 8 8. Tekken folks acting like, okay, you don't like the combos, Drew. I hear ya. I liked because I'm not leaving, honey boo boo. Okay, thank you. Love you, little stoner. The devs have openly stated that customization is a real pain for them, and I think customization slowly getting worse each entry just shows how burnt out they get on. Yeah, the customization, it's like, it looks good, it feels like you're gonna get something awesome, but when you dig into it, it's like, why can't I mix and match the outfits? Why can't I change the colors? Like, wow, I don't know. IGN gives all the games high praise and high scores. Yes, it's all for money. I love what I've seen in Tekken 8, but seeing you burn through the single-player content so fast is a little disheartening. Yeah, I recommend getting it on price, like on sale, if you're somebody like myself who you're just looking to get wonderful single-player offline content. It's done. It's done. I know that's a me problem. I shouldn't burn through this stuff so quickly, but I'm at the point where I have to use the turbo controller. All right, so I have here examples of how WB is ensuring the lack of quality when it comes to their newest video games. I think that, yes, we must blame WB, David Zaslav. He has said that he wants all of his billion-dollar properties to become live services. And we see this with Kill the Justice League Suicide Squad, where it is a live service promising, not now, but in 1 month from now, season 1 to be delivering new activities and crap. So this is not really a game with PvP, it's more so multiplayer co-op, where you are doing PvE encounters, not PvP. It's really sad that for these people who like Batman, because I don't care. But it's really sad for these people that they get this multiplayer always online game in this really unfinished state. So this is a video that compares the graphics and quality of Suicide Squad versus Batman Arkham Knights. The two games are 9 years apart. It's kind of insane. So let's take a look. So this is Suicide Squad.
Anymore?
That's Arkham Knight. Wait, what happened? Why am I spinning circle? Look how much better it looks. Look how much more detail there is in the environment. It's hard to believe that a game from nearly a decade ago is outperforming modern releases coming from WB. And this is the mindset. If you are focusing on live service content, you don't need to focus on quality. You can just ship this stuff right out of the door in whatever state because you are promising players year one roadmap, future DLC, always content. And this is also kind of highlighting the difference between games like Tekken 8 and Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat 1 obviously rushed, unfinished. Tekken 8 is a complete product. It is totally encapsulated, full, complete, balanced, tested, everything. It's very nice. Refreshing to see, in fact. But, I finished all the single player.
As if Wayne didn't have enough expensive cars.
Kind of crazy, right? Looks so good. Oh, which game is which? Which one is the older game? Which one is the newer game? Guys. This is Kill the Justice League. This is Arkham Knights. How is the old game getting cloth, fabric, textures, all of this better? Even the physics, because the little pom-poms are swaying backwards as she walks forwards. Here, the pom-poms are static. Yes, I pay attention to the pom-poms. God. It's so bad. How is this one more seductive and sultry than this one? So this is Traversal in Justice League. It looks soupy. It looks gray. It looks muddy. It looks kind of flat. Transition. So this is Batman, Arkham Knight. This looks so much better. So, like, when you see things like this, the question is then, why have these games decided to take such a lazy route when trying to make their dollars? Well, Gen Alpha, Gen Z, do they remember what happened 10 years ago? Are they willing to dust off their old console and see what this game used to look like? I think there's a lot of reliance on people's member berries as well when trying to sell these products, that they don't have to actually deliver good stories, good content. They can rely on players' understanding of lore and history to fill in the blanks while they do kind of cringy stuff like Jesus becoming the creator of all life, right? That's so strange. Looks good, right? Makes me want to play whatever this game is. There's so much going on in the environment in Batman, because There's all the signs, there's all the lights. Here you have signs and lights too, but there's something so generic. Like, look at the reflections. Look how detailed it is. It looks so ugly. Thick. Thick E? Thick D? What about a thick D?
Breach the firewall. Yeah, then they get murked.
I hate the casino-like UI. Like, there's parry, there's dodge. It seems like the combat here looks a little bit more polished. Less crazy things happening on the UI as well. And I can see, like, Spider-Man has taken influence from this kind of combat style that's here in Batman. But I don't know who's gonna try and replicate this. And I can see why someone said it looks like Anthem. It does kind of look like Anthem. Especially the fact that you're like in a fire team of 4 and you're shooting guns. There's something about the UI font. It looks very Anthem-y. Maybe I'm misremembering. But like the hit numbers. It seemed like you could do so much more with Batman. Wow, look at Harley go. She's just got hammer or bat. Yeah, I mean it's kind of wild. Oh look. So here she is in Batman Arkham Knight. She has so many more animations. Cartwheels and flips and wow. What a shame. So this is what's happening. WB is not worried about quality. And that is the mindset whenever you're making a live service game. The idea is that you can ship it out the door, fix whatever problems happen later. Because we're no longer living in this era of having a product and just eating that product and moving on. When you buy something nowadays, you are buying a lifestyle choice. It's not a lifestyle choice. I was born this way. But when you buy something nowadays, you are buying into a cult. You are buying into an ideology. You are buying into a lifestyle choice. So this is the lifestyle choice. Have some like ugly combat with Suicide Squad. I'm really hoping that this game fails. I'm hoping that Mortal Kombat fails because Warner Brothers needs to realize that games like Avalanche's Studios, Hogwarts Legacy, that was beautiful. There was content. There was lots of things to do in that game. Not here. Also, Hogwarts isn't a live service. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if David Zaslav will allow that in the future. But yes, I think it's important to frame all of this within the context of what are the people in charge thinking? What are they doing? So I have here a video that came from GDC 2022. This is Game Developers Conference? Game Development Committee? GD Conference? Game Developers Conference. Okay. So this is something where developers come together, share their ideas on what are the best business practices for developing games in general. Kind of wild, right? I wish I wish that more people had seen this video here, because I think this one is very crucial for understanding how live services work within, whether it be Mortal Kombat, but definitely Destiny 2 is presenting the roadmap for how other games can turn their franchises into live services. And that's the purpose of this video, this talk, where they talk like trying to teach people how to best go after developing a live service, which is sad. Okay. All right, let's see what you guys are saying before we get into this craziness. NRS was stupid to discard the most popular character since MKX. Cassie Cage would be in story mode expansion. I heard a rumor about Cassie Cage yesterday, aka you were watching a true underdog video. That's okay. Tell the truth, shame the devil. It's all right. I saw that he made a video. I didn't watch it. I just had to see the thumbnail and title to know that he's making lies. Duan. Oh no, you don't have to approach with caution. Funny, because Harley and Nightwing was exclusive to a wave game mode. And they got more than a game she's a full-fledged character in. Yeah, wow. I mean, you guys could probably speak to this experience a little bit better, because I've played neither of these games. But looking at it from the outside in, you can tell that there is a huge difference in quality. It looks like 2020 Marvel's Avengers game. MK1 gets better after you uninstall it and play something else. Turns out the shills were right along. It did get better with time. LOL. Wow, the older one looks 1,000 times better, looks smoother character animation wise, right? It's sad, because how could this game have been in development for 9 years when clearly, like, they weren't the company that they were 10 years ago making Batman Arkham Knights? You should have more resources, more personnel, more talent, more everything at your disposal to create a better game, especially after 9 years. I'm very worried, Duan. Dave, an expansion of the MK1 story mode is being released after Takeda. Yes, Ed Boon implied that. But my approach to these things is I don't believe in leaks and rumors until there's, hard things to look at. Little stoner, Mania hurt us all mentally, physically. She just hurts. Yeah, totally. Mania is sore on the eyes. She represents the fact that everyone on the roster looks terrible. But I guess Mania is the rallying point that we can all get behind, because she will be the poster child of ugly design in MK1. Mr. Ed said this would be the longest supported MK game to date. Surely there's got to be something decent coming along. Nope. Nope, not at all. So this is why I say that there will never be quality content coming to this game. You might get something that over delivers for story expansion DLC, but I think that's very unlikely, especially based off of this video. So let me show you.
But more than any one moment, I want to talk about the long, multi-year process that this moment catalyzed, that required us to rethink so many of our development practices and our studio culture.
Okay, so Bungie, when they released Destiny 2, there was a huge fall off compared to what was happening with Destiny 1 in the months after release. So this was at February 2018 where they realized, oh shit, everyone's dropping the game. Big surprise. There were so many microtransactions. There was nothing to do. Pretty much the same situation as Mortal Kombat 1.
From the ground up, over multiple years. And at its core, this is about the transition from a box product mindset of developing games to a live service mindset. And so what do I mean when I say a service mindset? And I'm not talking about like the product definition here. Like I think we all know what a live service game looks like on the product side. But what is the mentality, the culture, the practices that let you win in this environment? And so for the rest of this hour, I want to try to define what we had to learn to get to where we are today. And each of these transitions that I'm going to be talking about, they were really hard for us to first identify and recognize. And then even once we understood them, they were still hard to navigate and transform to as an organization.
I need the transcript.
And so I think that they're each pretty universal in application. So I'm hoping that we can help anyone in the audience who's undergoing similar transformations.
Yeah, see, like, this is the whole purpose of this speech, is because he wants to help other developers do the same thing that Bungie has done. So let's skip forward here to this idea of moving away from a complete product, which would be something like Tekken 8, or something like Elden Ring, or something like Baldur's Gate 3, where you get a complete product with your purchase. Their concept here is that they don't need a full, complete product. They need a service. So what they're building here is not really a game, but a vehicle to deliver more game content. Isn't that strange? It sounds strange coming from me, but let's hear him.
Identifying and recognizing these, and then the actual transformation is still. But we all know that these products don't start perfect. Like one of my favorite old quotes from a Pixar interview that I love is, all of our is near perfect. That is what we're talking about at Bungie when we say the box product mindset. Because you iterate and iterate, guided mostly by your talent and your gut until you have something amazing. Then you release it with this giant marketing explosion and hope that it blows all of the doors off. And to be clear, like I'm not knocking this process. It's amazing. I have tons of respect for every one of these studios, every one of these games. Like this idea of seeming like you never miss is why I originally applied to work at Bungie. And so I'm not trying to criticize it. I'm just setting it up to contrast it with a different approach that we've now had to adopt for Destiny. So if that's the boxed product approach, then what is the service approach and mindset by contrast? And more than anything else, being a service is about being fast. For a live service, more than anything, more important even than quality, a live service is about being fast.
Can we just ruminate on that? More important even than quality, a live service is about being fast. They don't care about giving you lots of content. They aren't caring about giving you fun things to do. They're just caring about shoving something out the door to the player to enjoy, quote unquote, because it's more important to keep these people playing for longer. They need the engagement with a live service. That's how you keep a live service alive.
Like back in 2010, you could have a long-lasting, high-retention game just by releasing something that was super high quality, really well-balanced, and unchanged that players kept coming back to for years. But to stay afloat as a service today, you need to be constantly feeding your players. You need to be responding to their concerns. You need to be making the game better. And so if box products are in the business of over-delivery, live service is the business of constant delivery. And to provide that constant delivery to players, you need to be fast. You need to be as fast as your organization can possibly be. And so at Bungie, one of the key lessons that we codified here to shift our mindset is that velocity is more important than position.
Okay, that's so stupid. They're saying that their ability to respond to issues in the game after release is more important than releasing a fully complete, balanced, fun experience. And that's the same mindset that we're seeing with NRS and Mortal Kombat and WB. WB wants these live services. It's more important to push the shit out as quick as possible than it is to actually test or balance.
Like your position
Isn't that depressing? That makes me not want to play video games ever again.
is your game's quality right now. How good is it? What issues does it have? How much content does it have to engage your players? And these are all important questions.
And don't think that, like, Bungie is good at fixing issues or addressing their meta, because they've let some things go on for too long in Destiny 2. Same thing goes for MK. Like, how is it that they can't respond to things like desync issues, player one advantage glitch? Like, they take so long to figure out and fix these issues, player one advantage glitch being a thing for more than a decade. I mean, I think this is another reason why we can expect that there will never be quality content in the future for MK1, because the question for them is, how can we get the dollars? How do we keep the people playing for longer so that they're looking at the premium shop and spending their dollars?
But so much more important for us now is, how fast can you change that position? If your players need more content, how fast can you funnel it into your game? If your game has an unbalanced meta, how long does it stay unbalanced?
So this idea of like constantly being reactionary in terms of game development approach, where you have to quickly respond to players, what is your job as a game developer if not to develop a game? Your job is not to respond to players. You should be making a full, complete game, as opposed to fixing issues and issuing band-aids on something with a broken foundation. Band-aids aren't going to fix a broken foundation.
And if your community has a valid complaint, how quickly can you respond to that complaint? And this is why, in this important but unintuitive way, I'd rather have fast than perfect. Because being perfect, even just being great, is your current position. But fast is your velocity. And a fast game will become...
It sounds really wild. So let's go to here. So I think you guys might be familiar with that Shigeru Miyamoto quote. A delayed game will... I forget. Let's see what he says.
Should be doing any heroics. There's this great, I don't know, maybe it's apocryphal Miyamoto quote, that a delayed game is eventually good, but bad game is bad forever.
Right, that thing. This is what I think older gamers have, this idea that people will want to deliver a quality product. This is in stark contrast with the current mindset as elaborated by this dude from Bungie. They don't care about delaying they don't care about a bad game. The issue is if they delay the game. Delaying the game means that it hurts the bottom line, also means that they're not setting themselves up for future success, where they could maybe potentially issue a patch or something that fixes something. But if you're not prioritizing quality, you're prioritizing fast, you will never get quality content.
But we found that once you're in a train station mindset, you actually need to have almost the completely opposite approach. Because a delayed train doesn't just hurt that train. It potentially causes cascade failure and chaos in the entire station. Whereas the reality is today, a bad game can be fixed. And I hope y'all are hearing the point that I'm trying to make here. I'm not trying to dunk on Miyamoto. I'm not trying to say that quality isn't important. But like that earlier point about velocity, it's that you don't get the quality on a service through perfectionism or through heroics and overextending yourself in any one given moment. That is train thinking. It's not station thinking. Instead, you get to quality one train at a time.
So he's making an analogy here where instead of making a game where you make the nicest train, you're instead building a train station through which you will deliver drip-fed content, which are the little subway cars traveling the tracks. It's insane, because in order to continue the fast pace of a train station, they will push anything out of the door in order to make profit.
Our seasons in Destiny right now are the best they've ever been. I think that's a safe statement that our community would agree with. So are our expansions right now, the best they've ever been. And the reality is our seasons got there a fair bit quicker than our expansions did, despite our seasons being under tighter schedule constraints with less room to iterate and polish. And so do you know why they got there faster? Because right now we're on season 16. We've been able to iterate so many times as train after train passes through that.
So AKA they've been able to recycle the same repetitive content for 16 seasons. This is not hopeful for a gamer. When you hear this kind of stuff, you can't be looking towards Mortal Kombat to ever be providing quality content. As long as it is a live service, the priority is just to ship the stuff through the door and worry about the patches, worry about the quality later. The hope is maybe an expansion would bring something to Mortal Kombat, but thinking that the seasons, invasions, combat league, patches and updates, those won't be bringing quality content. So wild. So he also makes another concept here about over delivery. Okay, so let's see if I can find it here. 4721.
Talking about the mindset here, the recognition that if you allow even a little.
So he's describing what it is inside of this kind of corporate environment where you are running a live service. It's you're either never crunching or always crunching. And you can guess that they don't want to be always crunching. So they're never crunching. They're never living up to their task of being game developers, but it's interesting to hear the explanation as to why.
A little bit of overextension to creep onto your teams or onto your project. It's going to cascade and it's going to build release after release. We've seen it happen over and over. And so the reality on the team is that this is a constantly ongoing battle. We don't catch every case on every team, but with every new release, we are trying to constantly, proactively identify where our teams are overextending themselves. Whether this could be through their own passion or it could be through feature over.
It could be through, so they're looking for developers who are passionate about the game, who are spending too much time on developing the game, and they say, oh no, dial it back. You're spending too much time on stuff that don't matter. Or it could be through feature.
Scoping. But regardless, we try to actively help each team member to learn this lesson so they can ultimately get onto that never crunching path. Because you don't want to.
When it sounds like you're never crunching, it sounds like you're never working as well. What is this mindset? So they don't want people to be too passionate about developing new skins, new modes, new features, because it's not helping the bottom line. They need to keep players engaged with drip-fed content like we get in Mortal Kombat 1, weekly quests, invasions, combat league seasons. Terrible.
Be on the other path. And so here's the last almost painful realization for us about train stations. So remember back when I said that box products are in the business of over-delivery. Over-delivery is actually dangerous for a train station. With every release that you put out there, you're setting a pattern for your community and for your players. And so if we release an expansion with 2 raids, let's say, next year, our community is going to be upset if we go back to only 1 raid.
So this is out of the mouth of the developers. This is the general manager for Bungie. He is the business head of Bungie. They don't want to over-deliver on product because it sets up the expectation within the community that, oh no, we want more and better. They're going to under-deliver because they don't want people to have high expectations. Because our community is going to be upset if we go back to 1 raid, if we delivered 2 with 1 expansion. Isn't that wild? Rather than creating a game they would actually like to play, a game that would actually be fun, this is their mindset.
We've hurt the station by making a rogue decision on just one of the trains to over-deliver. But at the same time, and this is why this lesson is painful to us, is because so much of quality and like delight in our craft comes from over-delivery, right? Like it comes from giving folks stuff above and beyond what they expected. And we still want to do that. We still want to surprise and delight and sometimes even overwhelm our players. But we need to be mindful of the patterns that we're creating, the implied future commitments that we've set for ourselves each time.
Wow. Wow. So it's wild to hear that he doesn't want players to have this expectation for more things, better things. It seems like they want to not work. Why even be game developers at that point? So strange. So I think this is also an important thing, is that these guys no longer care about making games that they want to play. And I think you can make an argument for saying, based on what we saw from NRS, they don't even want to play MK1. That's why they leave the beta testing to us. But Bungie previously used to have the motto of, we make games we want to play. But this is not what they do anymore.
We'd release that product with a big bang and the largest marketing push we could manage, and we'd trust that success by every definition would follow from
that's not the right spot.
those all just because is we create worlds that inspire friendship. And this new studio purpose has a bunch of benefits over the old one, like including the fact that we make games we want to play. It sounds a little too much like it's just like gatekeeping for bald middle-aged white guys like me. But besides adopting a more global and inclusive view,
a more global and inclusive view. So that sounds like the DEI training right there. They don't care. They love the DEI. This is their priority. They don't want to market games to bald old white dudes. They want to make games that are always online multiplayer so that people can have friends. And then they can psychologically scam these people by giving one of the friends a good exotic, and that encourages the other friend to play for hours and hours until they get that same exotic. That's what they're trying to do. And that's what we're getting with Mortal Kombat as well. With the fact that, how did they win best multiplayer and they don't have any multiplayer modes? But they're hoping that that experience that you get from Combat League and making friends is going to keep you playing. Because when your friend has the fancy outfit, well, you got to buy it too. Not you see your opponent who just beat you up was wearing Kung Lao pirate drag queen costume. Well, you gotta buy it too now. Wild. It's also wild that they've listed their expansions as if they were complete games. Those expansions were all from Destiny 1. That should just be one. They don't need to. They're hyping up Curse of Osiris? Oh my lord. The first two expansions for Destiny 2 were absolute trash. So yeah, I don't know, but do we need these old white guys who are bald telling us that they want to be more global and inclusive and that's what they aim for their games? So we've got this guy saying that he wants fast content, not quality content. He says we have to fight back that want to put passion and to overextend ourselves because we don't want to create false expectations within the player base. But I think what's also very interesting. Damn it. What's happened? Here we go. What's also very interesting are the kind of metrics that they use to gauge this stuff. Okay, so when Destiny 2 came out, it was in a rough shape. What they were trying to do was just put a 2 on it and give everyone a new shop, buy lots of things. And that's essentially what I feel with Mortal Kombat 1. They took all of the same mechanics, the same ideas from MK11. I mean, Combat League hasn't changed at all from MK11, except there's less rewards with nothing unique. Yeah, isn't that tragic? So the live service definitely fails at some points, but they need some way of understanding if it's good or not. And one of the things that Bungie did at the time was to follow the influencers and track them and see what the influencers are saying, because they have a very corporate philosophy of first trust, then retention, then revenue. This is the business mindset that you need to have with the live service. And it's wild that they think that they can accomplish this by providing a product unfinished at release. So people who will be playing Mortal Kombat 1 years from now, despite them seeing the rocky, shaky release of Mortal Kombat 1, they are going to be groomed by the company into trusting them. They need to first build trust, then retention, then revenue. And these are the metrics that they are looking at that judges how successful a live service is for their company.
This was especially bad with streamers and influencers because we had literally hurt their livelihood by making streaming Destiny a less viable profession. So they were loudly and understandably shouting their complaints to every viewer. And so we knew,
unlike Mortal Kombat, Destiny content creators at the time were very upset and vocal. Some were like the ghosties out there saying, oh, just be patient. Things are going to get better. It never did. It never did. So I think like people who are going to be having a vested interest in saying that the game will be getting better are these people. You just heard the general manager from Bungie say it. These people are relying on making a career out of streaming a certain game, and the developers hurt them because they didn't provide a good product. I don't trust the content creators because they have a very vested interest in making money. This isn't paying my bills. YouTube's not paying my house tax, my house insurance, my car insurance. There's so many insurances. But yeah, like it really indicates that these people who are shills, who don't even see that they're shills, these companies are banking on them. They are watching them. They are tracking them. I know this too because they watch my videos and then nerf things because I was being the dumb bitch unpaid beta tester for NRS.
that we needed to solve these trust issues first. So we focused a lot of our early work on trying to repair our reputation with our players and our community and our influencers. We bumped to the top of our priority queue several early changes to the game, not because our designers believed that these were the most important root causes to our engagement issues, but because they were vocal pain points in the community.
Do you hear that? That's why people got Wi-Fi filters first. Because NRS don't care. NRS don't care. They think that the root of engagement problems is crossplay. They're not fixing it. They're going to do Wi-Fi filters first. So it's wild to hear like someone from this mindset, this business mindset, describe how they're going to fix the game because they're intending to do things that the influencers want, the vocal minority, what they want first. We are shit. General average Joe Blow player, we are shit. It's sad. Makes me not want to play games.
Them quickly would clearly indicate that we were listening and we were responding to our player community and we were just trying to do our best. And this trust battle took us almost a full year, if I'm being honest. And that's also when we did stuff like we removed all of the microtransactions from some of our releases in that year, taking
so seasonal fatality bundle. Okay.
multi-million-dollar losses in the process.
Okay, they adjusted prices on some of the things from the premium shop. Okay.
Because the risk of losing more trust was so much worse at the time than the known loss in revenue.
See, like, here's the thing. Bungie, they've been doing this for a while. NRS hasn't. NRS doesn't come with a decade's worth of live service content experience. They did MK11. MK11 worked. Maybe it worked because of the scary flu. People were at home. They're playing this shitty game. But once you get past the 32 seasons and you see this stuff repeat, once you get past 16 seasons and you see this stuff repeat, it's like, what is this? This content is just so repetitive, recycled, redundant.
And the reason that we were able to eat that revenue loss was because we knew that revenue wasn't the goal yet. Trust was. Revenue can come later. And then once we had player trust and sentiment under control, we then focused on retention. And this was the real focus of our first major expansion after Destiny 2 launched, Forsaken. Forsaken's product focus, more than any other specific goal for that release, was to fix the end game for Destiny 2, to fix our retention, and to ensure that there were plenty of long-term pursuits and content in Destiny 2 for our most hardcore players.
Yeah, they don't have content for us.
For brand new accounts that are created.
They don't have content for the most hardcore of players in MK1, which is sad. And I think maybe we'll have to wait for the first real expansion after MK. First real expansion after Homelander, Takeda, to actually get some sort of quality improvement. But let's not be blinded. Let's not be fooled. The whole entire idea here is that you drop an expansion that only brings engagement for so long, whereas you're relying on things like invasions and combat league to be your live service engagement. So this is how they track this stuff. This is key performance indicators, and they're not giving us actual values, just some percentage change, but you can see that they're tracking things like vocal sentiment rate last week
on a given week, our weekly return rate. So these are players that played last week and have returned this week to play again, and then win back. So these are players who did not play last week but played at some point in the past. It could have been 2 weeks ago. It could have been 5 years ago.
So they break down these different categories of players because they really want to make sure that they are engaging people. Having a good average weekly win back means that you're in the process of winning back people that have left your game. You would expect this to be high and this to be high, new players, for a expansion drop, or maybe the beginning of a new invasion season. These numbers will drop as things go on and on in the season. With seasons being so long in MK, they must be seeing significant drop-offs in terms of weekly win back and weekly return rate, especially when new players and average daily users keeps on dropping. But this is very interesting to know that these are the types of metrics that they're looking at.
But for whatever lapse they've returned to us. And you put these factors together, and then you can see pretty easily your funnel in and funnel out of players. And importantly, each of these KPIs are going to be pushed differently. Like the type of content that typically causes your engaged players to stick around, that raises your return rate, is going to be really different from the type of content that's going to cause new players to show up. And this is where...
Right, so like the things that make people come back, maybe like a good season of Combat League, good rewards, but there's nothing like that for Mortal Kombat because their concern is to make content fast, not quality. It feels like the whole entire live service framework is at odds with itself, given that they're trying to have player engagement on content that isn't good, but just constant. More and more. This is why Bungie has framed itself as not we make games that we want to play, but rather we make games where friendships are made. Fuck.
We're getting...
It's like Taya from Yu-Gi-Oh! The power of friendship.
Higher granularity in how you're defining success for a given feature, a piece of content, or a release gets really important. So finally, beyond our blood pressure, we've got the revenue that we're trying to accomplish, made up both in unit sales and in microtransactions.
Okay, so this is also very interesting to note. They're looking at gross revenue. There's always the bottom line. People don't want to see that the reason why we have such shit content in Mortal Kombat 1 is because of the bottom line. They want to have weekly quests, they want to have Combat League seasons, they want to have invasions, which is meant to bring people in and spend on the microtransactions. They want people to spend on the MTX.
And importantly here, like while we're tracking revenue daily with these report cards, we aren't actually optimizing for revenue. Because like it would be easy to make decisions that temporarily...
That's a lie. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe at every single step of the process, they are optimizing for revenues. Why do you think they're telling people, hey, stop spending time on working on something that you're passionate about? You're just going to create false expectations for us later down the road. Please stop over-delivering. It's wild. It's one of the most strange things that I have ever heard from a game company. I'm so surprised that this is so recent. April 2023. What? This is a saved conference talk from 2022. So they were sitting on it for almost a year before they released it to the public. But I can imagine why the comments are turned off, because some of the things that he's saying here are just very inciting. These things are not what a customer wants to hear. No customer wants to hear that they are focusing on fast rather than quality. That their idea is to build a train station where they can push things out, and if they spend too much time working on one product, it means that they're not going to be able to ship out the next product. Once again, this is like the WB corporate rhythm, where they have certain DLCs being brought out at certain times. If you're not fulfilling that corporate rhythm, then you're not fulfilling the bottom line. So, okay, here we go. This is where he talks a little bit about this train station idea. I do recommend you watch the whole thing if you have time. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but it is a very
I want to talk about redefining success is
interesting
in the product itself.
perspective.
And the way we talk about this mindset shift internally is you're building a train station, not a train. So if you think about that box product mindset as building the most impressive, fast, luxurious new train that the world has ever seen, you're poring over the details of the trim.
Right, like Tekken 8, it's a lovely train. But Mortal Kombat 1 is not a train. It is a train station where you're going to be sat there waiting for hopefully good content to drop. But as you can see, they're not focused on quality, they're focused on fast.
In every cabin, the friction on the wheels, everything to make that train the most.
Okay. So, anyways, there is an interesting PowerPoint that goes along with it. This is from Amazon Web Services. It's kind of wild that I'm finding all this industry stuff, but I think it's really telling about the state of Mortal Kombat, the state of NRS, and their thinking with this live service. It wouldn't surprise me if they went to GDC and heard this talk and they're like, okay, let's implement this with Mortal Kombat. This shouldn't be too hard. What do you mean we never have to crunch? Everyone will love that. What do you mean we never have to be passionate? Oh, wow, we just show up and collect our paycheck? That's great. Yeah, so yeah, he provides certain illustrations and graphs and charts that appear in his PowerPoint. He compares Destiny to Destiny 2, saying that Destiny 2 had a higher Metacritic score, but they were also very focused on influencers too. Obviously, that's how they get away with these kinds of things. But there was one here, Buyer's Remorse Award. He's saying Destiny 2 made such a turnaround, but the turnaround for Destiny happened years after its initial release. And if you include Destiny 1, more than 5 years. It's this is really sad. It's really depressing. I don't know how you can be watching this here, my friends, and not be depressed as well, because this is what happens with live service games, and this is why I try to call out the fact that this stuff is live service. It's not good, and people don't seem to understand that, which is sad. Depressing. But hopefully hearing the words out of the big cheese, like, people will believe it more. But yes, OMG, let's see what you guys are saying. But before we do, I would love to give a huge shout out to everyone in the Jaded Bunny fam. I would not be here on this here YouTube were it not for my brothers and sisters. They help keep me alive, so thank you. Much love to absolutely everyone, including Monsta, Blah Erg, Eyeball. I don't know his name. There's just a picture of an eyeball. Chef Meme Maker, Lola Loves, Chill Nation, Mortis Dio, Shadow Armageddon, Clone Max, Buffy the Barbie, Adlai Black, Master Pokemon, Dragonstorm Uwu, Jalen, Carlos, Duwan, Northern Star, Executed, Eon of the Neon, Amar, Mr. Chip, CJ Rocky, Keep It Real, Sorcerer, David Costello, Just Drew, Ian's Web, Big Rigs, Leo, Mr. Nightmare, Jens Eric Goals, Fox the Fiend, Charlie Ravens, John Feltner, Angel, Kari Lessie, James Shea, John Clark, J4, Styles, Gara D, Coffee Gamer, Jonah, Eric, Blood Ferox, Glowy, Chakacorn, Airy, Darkside, Trokar, Michael G, Swishbish, Alski, Snoopy Blind, FGC, Albus Christus Mortis, Yuri, Calum, JJ, Dr. Eggman, Alina, Acenonics 85, Alan, Ciderem, Ragnar, Rian Chaos, and Queen Molina. Thank you. All right, okay, so let's see what you guys are saying. This is sad. I really don't think that anyone should have any expectation for anything good coming out of Mortal Kombat, especially after that video that we just saw. Like, this is what a live service is. Live services are designed to be fast, to be lacking quality. Which, okay. Love it. Adly, these streamings are gaming industry lessons. OMG, thank you. I love learning, and I love sharing what I learned too. So I find this very fascinating. I don't think a lot of people are so interested because they don't watch this stuff. They don't see what's going on. But like for me, I like to keep an eye out. I am Sorcerer here on another account. Aw, thank you, Gerbon. Love you, Gerbon. CJ, I think a live service done right could be amazing. They're just doing it really bad in MK1. So if you want live service done right, look towards MMORPGs. Look to things like Final Fantasy XIV. Look to things like World of Warcraft. These kinds of MMOs have had this idea of live service for decades. And it's been working for them. And this is what these console games, these newer modern games, they're trying to leech off of this idea of live service. I mean, you can see it with Street Fighter. Street Fighter is a really good example. Street Fighter has a battle pass like Fortnite, has it has MMO like Final Fantasy or Destiny. It has RPG like it pretends to have in Destiny or Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is RPG. So when you take these kinds of like MMO, RPG, always online kind of contents and you mix them together, it's a live service. Blah. Blah. And when I say MMO, it can also be multiplayer, like 4 people co-op. But definitely if you're trying to build friendships rather than building a game that people want to play, yeah, the MMO aspect really helps. And you kind of get that with Tekken 8. Although I don't really like the Tekken Fight Lounge, I'll be honest. If you want to go play a match with someone in Tekken Fight Lounge, you have to go to a purple cabinet or to the Tekken Ball yellow cabinet by the beach. Like, it's only 2 specific spots I can play with people. Most of the cabinets in Tekken Fight Lounge are for ranked. Ugh, I don't want to play Combat League. The whole live service is due to devs seeing how popular games like Skyrim were with all the fan mods to extend the life of the game, but they want to monetize that with poor game experiences. Exactly. They took the stuff that used to be in the game and then they parceled it out as live service content, quote unquote. Yeah, exactly, D's. I like trains. Yes, I like trains too. I like getting a train run on me. Drop all the characters now, May Dave. The game. What? Dave, did PS showcase for PS? Yes, I did see it, Joe. I will maybe play Silent Hill because it's scary. If you like to hear me scream, then yeah. I really want to play the Silent Hill free-to-play game. You can make all of these work if you just make a good game. Audience retention would be there. Trust would be there from word go. Revenue will come from word of mouth, and that it's actually good. Unfortunately, that's not how business heads are seeing that. They see it as they're going to get more money if they follow Fortnite or Destiny or some sort of other live service model that they don't really have experience with. This is the trend within modern games. Rocksteady, right? NRS. They don't have that experience in delivering live service content, but they want to be live services like these other games. And you could say that this is WB pushing their agenda onto NRS, but at the same time, NRS, go to the conferences, go learn how to develop content. Learn. Do better. Wabbit's Insurance has an insurance. Oh, God. Why can't it be both? Make a great product, then stick a drip feed on the side. I don't know. Like, when you see games like Tekken 8, it's like, how can you imagine them drip feeding anything from that? Also, when you play Mortal Kombat 1 and you see things like the backdating time console glitch, which breaks the illusion of seasons, weekly quests, all of that, and you can just access the content immediately at your pleasure, well, clearly one is better than the other. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm making friends in Combat yeah, maybe Stoner. I hear ya. MK11 has more than MK1. I agree. WB is a shit company. Suicide Squad is bombing hard as well. It's depressing. MK1 was supposed to be good. All MK streams are streaming. I'm not streaming Tekken. I am not streaming Tekken. I didn't turn off the console. I'm just playing nothing. I give up on games. I play Tekken. I like Tekken. Don't get me wrong. I like Tekken. I think it's good. But for me, I like Street Fighter more as well. There's like builds. I can do things in Street Fighter. Like augment builds. That's fun. Flames, Northern, sorry no one answered you. I don't think anyone knows. Nobody is playing it. Oh, no. I have a friend playing Suicide Squad, and he literally just said, bro, I beat the game already. Yeah, I heard that you can finish the game in less than 10 hours. It's pretty quick. I finished Tekken 8 in less than 24 hours. Arkham Knight also had a lot of DLC stuff, but they all in a version in a while, and it's a lot of content. Graphics on Suicide Squad are as flat as they made Harley Quinn's boobs. Yeah, we looked at that earlier, D's. The comparison between Batman Arkham Knights and Suicide Squad is ridiculous. I still can't believe, like, how was Uncaged or Caboose, how are they shilling for the game when they look so different from what has come before? Like, you can see, this looks so washed out, gray, muddy, compared to what you could get in Batman Arkham Knights, which definitely had a aesthetic, kind of like noir, heavy rain, dark aesthetic. Vigilante. Yeah, I like it. Street Fighter 6 was the best purchase I've made. I love Street Fighter 6. I've never heard anything good about Bungie devs. Anything I heard about is that how is this still broken? Why is it broken for months? Yeah, I've never I would not say that Bungie devs have a good reputation presently. Still fishing for Rambo Locality 4. Oh no, Marquise, you only bought Tekken to play dress up. Why don't you go play Combat League? Talk to me when you're going to play Combat League. What, did you buy Mortal Kombat for just dress up? Who the hell just wants to play ranked? I said I need PvE. God, Marquise, you know, I can't deal with stupidness. So just go. Just go. Money over quality. Lol. More important than quality. How terrible. Just shove out poop and make it work. Exactly. They don't care. They just want things fast. Quality is secondary. It's like we're at school. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make this into school. I'm mad teacher, though. I'll tell you, go sit in the corner, put on the dunce cap. You get a timeout for 5 minutes. And if you still act up, you get a ban. Finish Tekken, so I'm back to Texas Chainsaw. I heard Texas Chainsaw is scary. I can't. Jonah, honestly, MK1 dies so WB and NRS can take a lesson. Like I said, if you really want to hurt them, You have to hurt them in the metrics. And that's also kind of why I showed you these metrics here. These are the metrics that define success for a live service. New players, average weekly return rate, average weekly win back, vocal sentiment, expansion revenue, MTX revenue. I don't know what this is. ARPDAO. But yeah, you need to hurt them in the microtransactions. You need to hurt them in the expansions. You need to hurt them in returning players. Don't get caught up on doing weekly quests. Do them as quick as possible. Don't spend much time in it because they're looking for people to be sinking hours into the game. Don't give them that. If you really want to hurt them. I watched a stream of Suicide Squad and it went downhill after Superman died. Oh no. This game should be called Multiverse Combat 1 because of the story, perhaps. Caleb, OMG, thank you. What up? No way, please teach me, show me the real world people making these terrible decisions so I can know who to blame properly. I agree. I like knowing who to blame. And I think I blame Stephanie Brownback. She's head of quality. I can understand that these people don't care about quality. That's why they let Stephanie Brownback roll in. Green Ranger, Caleb, love you, bestie. Love you guys so much. Okay, so I am praying that you just stay wise to all of the shenanigans and tomfoolery out there. But until next time, please stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. Bye, my friends. Take care. Peace. Love you guys.